character, we have some sense of victory and relief. We know in the back of our mind that Eren is most likely alive and will return later, but for now we relish in victory. We see Pieck, Falco, and Gabi reuniting with their families, and we have a sense of joy at that moment. We are safe, but we will touch on the rest of this scenario later. For now, I just wanted to talk about Mikasa's character. Mikasa played such a huge role in this chapter. She has grown and really developed as a character, with her bloodline being filled with importance in herself. Just on her own is just incredible. She is the definition of tragedy, wanting to save Eren, but also understanding that she must do what must be done, and that if worse comes to worse, Eren will have to die. She has always had this fear of Eren dying, and that's in her blood. It's in her blood to prioritize Eren over everyone else, to save Eren no matter what. This has created a dynamic in her mind, I feel, and a struggle with her being lost on what thoughts are truly hers, and if her motives are really hers. She wants Eren safe and will do anything to save him, and we've seen her do this as she takes down Armin temporarily when he lunges at Eren at the table scene. But this chapter, she changes it and distinguishes what her motives truly are. Mikasa was the main star of this chapter, as Armin was the star of the last chapter. She had her last bit of character development, and her story arc is done. She honestly went from one of my least favorite characters, as she just ran after Eren and always babying him. But the more time I spent with her, and the more she grew on me, the more she grew on me. Especially in the later chapters, she definitely grew to be one of my favorite characters. Now, let's resume the order of the chapter with the major point in the chapter out of the way. Let's just, of course, get back to the order of the chapter and explain the thoughts on it. The battle seems to be over, and we perceive it as a false sense of comfort. We know that Eren wouldn't just lose by getting nuked, and the power of friendship prevails. The power of friendship did help, but Eren doesn't care at all. We see everyone with family reuniting, and we see Andy running to her dad after years of being separated from him. And this is built up ever since she turned into an ice block, and even more when she got out of that ice block. We've been waiting for her to see her dad and been hoping for it. This adds even more of that comfort that is now seeming real. The flurry of emotions is just now becoming relief and happiness. We are dropping our guard as readers and forgetting about how Eren will come back. We're just worried about how and when Annie will reunite with her dad. Annie has been waiting for this moment, as us readers have been too. We see Armin climb out of his new crater he created, and Reiner marches towards the parasite thing. The parasite thing is moving towards the mountain with everyone in it, with everyone on it. Eren then makes his grand return, transforming into a super emo colossal titan, which I find confusing on how Eren became a colossal titan, as that would mean that he would be able to become any titan he wants just showing how strong the Founder's power really is and how far it goes. The parasite then lets off steam, which is spinal fluid steam, basically, which, like Titan spinal fluid steam, the same as 𝑔𝑜𝑜𝑑, which when inhaled as an alien, you become a titan. Connie, of course, notices this from his ride through Rogako village when the incident first happened, and the scouts look shocked. They know what this means. Levi tells Mikasa and Pieck to hop on Falco. Now, these lines really didn't click for me at first, as I was kind of confused on why they were just leaving really quick. Then I reread it and it clicked. My heart immediately sank, just as how I imagined Jean and Connie's did, knowing their fate. It really sent me down a spiral of emotions, as I thought Isayama wouldn't touch Jean and Connie. I thought that nothing of the sort would happen. This organism in a corner trying to save itself and killing off beloved characters. They even killed off Gabi, which grew to be one of my favorite characters of the series. Even worse, Isayama gave these three characters the worst possible death, becoming a mindless titan, stuck in a nightmare until you're dead. It's basically the worst way to die, and to be written off. Jean and Connie's final words, and their exchange of words, are heartbreaking. them holding each other, looking into the distance in bliss, knowing they did their part in helping to save the world. Jean being one of the main reasons that the rumbling stopped, and basically saving the world from being crushed from the colossal titans. Jean had grown so much and came into his own. He matured greatly over the course of the series, becoming a great leader, a man you can lean on, and very soft as well. One to always limit casualties and helping plan a way to not have so many people die. Jean doesn't want anyone to die and will always disagree with it. He went from being scared and only thinking of himself, wanting to join the military, police, and high ranking so he could have an easy life, to joining the Survey Corps and thinking of others and being a fantastic leader. His journey as a character was incredible, and he's definitely my top 5 favorite characters in the series. Kanye as well shines in his own way. Although he isn't one of my favorite characters, he was still enjoyable, and is more than the few comic relief characters. Wanting to prove himself to his village, and even going as far as wanting to sacrifice Falco to his mother. He wanted to get his mom back and show her what he had become. He was a good character that it hurts to see him go. Gabby was also an amazing character, seeing how the world had expanded to her, manipulated and brainwashed by Marley, and having a lot of things stripped from her friends, her family, and just a young girl who has been brainwashed by her home country to hate her own race. She then lives with the Eldians, who are so caring, even though she killed their friend. Her entire perspective changes, and we see her just completely shift. But cutting back to the events unfolding, we see the parasite working its way back to Eren. But Reiner, in a valiant way, stands tall and keeps pressing forward despite the situation, and takes the parasite and holds it back to keep it from reaching Eren to reactivate the rumbling. Eren battling his best friend Armin in his odd colossal titan form. Armin asking if Eren enjoys this hell that he has created, which we can find ourselves asking as well. Does Eren truly enjoy all this, as all this hatred is being taken on in the world, seeing his father's memories of the cruelty of the world, yet living under the same roof as the Marleyans for a period of time, but seeing in first person the cruelty of Marley and gaining knowledge of the outside world, but more importantly seeing how he needs to carry on his mission, how he needs to fight on. He needs to carry on with this plan for his friends and for Astoria, so that he can end the history of aliens being cattle, people being forced to live a certain way, which doesn't sit well with Eren. Eren and Armin engage in this epic colossal titan battle, while the other titan shifters are fighting on against the parasite, against all these titans charging at them mindlessly. Then flash to Mikasa having a dream on Falco, which can be interpreted as either a dream sequence or just a memory sent. I've seen multiple people debate whether or not it's a dream sent by Eren using founding titan powers, or just a dream sequence like in the Lost Girls OVA or manga. It appears to be a memory, I feel, as she says that she can't forget him, and titan marks are appearing on Eren's face toward the end of the dream sequence. Eren, I feel, was able to send these memories to her regardless of the Ackerman blood, because of her love for him. I feel, and their special bond, their fate tying them together, as the dream blends into reality, and it all takes place within a couple seconds. With the increase in the pain of her headaches and the panel of Kid Eren, kind of makes sense that it's a memory sent by Eren to Mikasa, as kind of a last message to her to forget him and throw away the scarf, so that she can be happy. The whole dream is very touching. It tugs on your heartstrings and gives you an ideal setting in a different route that everyone likes. The dream slowly starts to blur together, and titan marks start forming on Eren's face, and he asks Mikasa to be free and to forget about him, which kind of signifies it's set in stone that it's sent by Eren, as if he does die, and when this is all over, to just forget about him and live happily and freely. And we see the Titan shifters fighting on, and Reiner being pulled back by Connie and the other mindless Titans, with Jean biting down on Reiner's nape. Levi and Armin help Mikasa get into Eren's mouth. She gets in swiftly and cuts off his head. As doing so, she looks at Eren with such a calm face filled with love, smiling as she knows this is her final moments with Eren. This page alone strikes so much emotion, as you know what's going to happen and the emotion behind it. And looking at Eren's face, at peace, tired, and relieved. Mikasa gives Eren the kiss she has been waiting for years. The moment alone just gives so much joy with the battle against Eren over, and Mikasa accomplishing her goal and expressing her love for Eren. With Ymir smiling at the scene of this love being expressed. Maybe she relates to this, or this is a sinister smile. Maybe Ymir knew Eren's intention, and he wanted this to happen. Dying to her hands, and seeing this makes Ymir happy, seeing love blossom before her. That's how the chapter ends. Eren died by the hands of Mikasa, seemingly at peace. But that's all I have for this chapter. This is the longest review I've written, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe, and state your thoughts on this chapter in the comments below. Get a good night's rest, and I'll talk to you guys later.